What makes a game truly great is its ability to make you feel what the character is feeling. When a story is told well, we don't just witness the journey, we experience it. Think of Grand Theft Auto 4, where Nico Bellic's pursuit of the American dream is clouded by moral dilemmas and the haunting weight of his past, or Red Dead Redemption 2, where Arthur Morgan's story forces players to grapple with loyalty, redemption, and inevitable mortality. These games immerse us in their emotional depth, making us reflect on the choices we make. Sifu is a masterclass in this kind of storytelling. At its core, it is a game about vengeance. From the very beginning, we are thrust into a path of relentless pursuit, fueled by the pain of loss and the unwavering need for justice. But when we finally reach the end of that journey, the game presents us with a choice, and in doing so, it subverts the very idea of revenge as a satisfying conclusion. This is what makes Sifu's ending truly brilliant. After years of training, countless battles, and the overcoming of impossible odds, the protagonist finally faces Yang, the man responsible for their father's death. In the heat of combat, Sifu challenges us to prove everything we've learned. If we choose to kill Yang, we get what we've been seeking all along, revenge. But instead of feeling victorious, the moment is hollow. As the protagonist stands over Yang's lifeless body, they suddenly experience a vision, a flashback to their childhood. In that moment, they are no longer the masterful warrior they became, but instead a terrified child, standing in the presence of death once again. The cycle of violence has consumed them, leaving them lost in their own vengeance. This ending highlights the protagonist's internal struggle. Revenge does not bring closure, only regression. The flashback represents their inner child, their unresolved trauma, showing that by embracing violence, they have failed to grow. Their father is gone, their enemies are dead, but they remain stuck in a loop of pain. But there's another way. If we choose to spare Yang, embracing the principles of Wuda, martial virtue, the fight changes. Instead of simply defeating Yang, we must break the cycle. We must show mastery, not through destruction, but through restraint. When Yang is finally bested, the protagonist lets go of vengeance, achieving true enlightenment. Unlike the revenge ending, this path brings peace. This ending signifies true mastery, not just of combat, but of oneself. By overcoming their desire for revenge, the protagonist matures. This path follows the teachings of many classic martial arts philosophies. Strength is not about defeating others, but about mastering oneself. What makes these endings so impactful is how they play with their expectations. For hours, Sifu has conditioned us to think that strength is defined by how well we fight, by how many enemies we defeat. And yet, the best ending isn't about winning, it's about learning. The revenge ending leaves us unsatisfied, just like the protagonist. We sought revenge, and yet, it took everything from us. But the Wood ending, it challenges us to see beyond violence, to transcend the very path that got us here. This is a rare thing in gaming. Most games with revenge narratives reward players with catharsis. Sifu does the opposite. It denies us that satisfaction if we choose revenge. But if we choose honor, if we choose to embody true martial virtue, then, and only then, do we achieve peace. And that's what makes Sifu's ending not just great, but brilliant. But why did Yang kill the protagonist's father in the first place? Unlike other revenge-driven antagonists, Yang did not act out of malice. Instead, he and his team sought the talisman, believing its power could be used to help others. However, the protagonist's father refused to give it to them. as he believed the enchantments of the talisman were forbidden to be used in such a way. This ideological clash set everything into motion. Yang saw his former master's decision as an act of limitation, holding back what could have been used for the greater good. This led him and his team to attack the sanctuary, steal the talisman, and ultimately kill the protagonist's father. Yang's motivations, however, run deeper than just the talisman. He blames the protagonist's father for his own family's death. In Yang's eyes, his master's strict adherence to the Code of Wood and his unwillingness to use the talisman's power to save others led to tragedy. This resentment festered within him, ultimately fueling his betrayal. He saw his former master not as a wise protector, but as someone who let suffering persist due to rigid beliefs. This internal conflict made Yang's actions personal. His attack on the sanctuary was not just about acquiring power, but about righting what he saw as a great wrong. In the end, Sifu isn't just a game about revenge, it's a lesson. And like all great lessons, it leaves us thinking long after we've put the controller down.